Going to YouTube. Welcome to Upside DIY. So I'll show you guys this weatherproofing that I did, and with the clear silicone I only had 2 tubes. I siliconed that one, 2 items, silicone the helmet even in the holes, used a rubber glove. 3, I silicone the bottom of this, and it's right at this line. And then I use wood glue, and it looks like air bubbles, but it's actually cleared up glue bubbles. So this is the 4th one, and I'm gonna go back. I made a back, but I put silicone on the plastic pieces or between the Velcro, and then lined it up, lined each pad up, and put silicone. So this is the 4th. The 5th is just these weatherproofing socks. The thing is, I'm gonna actually use these for another boot, which was clear silicone. So this is the 5th one. Probably going to need some more silicone. I was gonna wear these socks with this, but it's a little too long. It's a little too. These are actually really long socks. So, but I siliconed these before when I had, 1 or 2 tubes left. And I'm gonna get another pair of socks that aren't as long, and I'll try to get that at the end of this video. But these are the boots that I'm gonna wear with the socks. These were siliconed also, and most of my shoes, and I line them a double thick pad, so the soles and stuff like that are really comfortable. I won't have any problems with just the bottom. Sometimes it's just too thin and it's just uncomfortable for the bottom of the feet. So clear silicone this and stuff, and you could really use like lacquer also, or like some polish. With 1.5 tubes, I got pretty much 6 things, or 5. The helmets were kind of actually only 3 big items, but I also sewed. I used thread and needle, and look at the heel. I need to find a way to fix or repair that. This boot, I've got to repair, kind of like probably on this other one too, just in case, but I could, add a little bit of thread just around here. I could feel some cracks in it, but this one was pretty bad. It had like 3, and it was, basically, I could also coat this with silicone when I'm done sewing. And actually, all I did today was the cooler, made sure the wood glue was working good, and then I sewed this up. And I'm gonna have to finish sewing this up. I would really like to glued, so I'm probably going next time I have some silicone. Probably it's taped up, and now it's ready for siliconing. I'm gonna use the foam pad. The foam pad comes real handy. This stuff right here, this thing. Then I gotta move these lights. And then this clear silicone. All right, so yeah, here's the clear silicone. This stuff. Gonna be excited to actually just depends. Find a pile of dirt sometimes, and carry around a sifter, and you could really get some good rocks sometimes. All right, so this one's all done. I just made sure I got one side finish, and need to find a good way to put this somewhere. So I guess I got a plastic bag, and then I just overhung it and stuff, sitting on a pop cone. And then back to just finishing this up. I'm gonna get something ready to wrap the clear other sock coated. Just gonna try to balance it. So some of the stuff's, that's been. I need more. Use this and start trying to clear coat. I wanted this little pointed one to try to get inside of the holes first. So let's go ahead and wear a pair of gloves. Alright, so here's pretty much the silicone. I could actually use my fingers first to go inside the holes, and then probably use the big spatula. Okay, so I use the big pad, and well, first I use my finger on the inside. I'm going to probably use a Q-tip at the very end, or even a popsicle stick to smoothen out anything inside of the holes. But mainly just wanted to coat that. Probably going to do that. Well, and then I've got the holes on the back, and then also a lot of the other spots that I painted, and I'm going to try to let it dry, and even underneath the helmet where the padding is, I'm going to do a outline of that. Alright, so I did underneath, kind of like where the foam and stuff is. After that, was able to take off one glove, got inside all the holes, even with the pops. Use my finger first, and then a popsicle stick, and now with all the rest of the glue and stuff, I just need to pretty much smoothen things out using a foam pad, and this should be weather coated. Alright, so it's all coated, I think. So went over a few things, realigned the helmet so that it doesn't touch the box. Kind of see a spot right here. So just kind of smoothing everything out before it dries, I think. I'm working on my exploring gear, and I think I've got something in here that I've got to silicone. Also silicone some of these lights, but with this helmet, the front, some of this pad right here could be silicone. So I got a popsicle stick, and alright, so that's pretty much the helmet, or my exploring, my nighttime at least. It's got the flashlights on here. Yeah, so I use my fingertips for the most part, and got it just on the material underneath, and then glued it. Some of it wasn't really loose, but it had a few gaps. So I filled as much as I could in and things. So picking up the clear silicone, I got the silicone, and weatherproofing a lot of stuff. I actually used a little bit of excess wood glue on these flashlights, a little bit more, so I might try to do that a little bit just to get these pretty nice, I think. So I'll finish up, but the silicone isn't 100% cured yet. But as soon as that is, inside the holes and things, I just let those be, because those actually fill in little crevices and things like that. But most of the outer shell and things like that, finished up. Got a few cool effects, I think, out of it, and things like that. Layer of wood glue and it all dried up. So these lights are pretty much it has Velcro on the back and things. So I'm going to go through my next items, and I've got pretty much an inner tube. This was going to be the first. Got the inner tube cut vertically. So this inner tube is going to go around on the inside the cooler. Hopefully, I just turned it up right side up. So there's the valve, pretty much epoxy dried and stuff. I also added some adhesive around. There's a top layer of plastic sheet to kind of, and I add more glue on the patch, so that's glued in and stuff. And this inner tube, so I saved up as much material, and there's going to be pretty much a couple of spots or sides. I need to pick the sides, probably this on the left, and also save the middle. But I'm hoping some of it is going to overhang, depends on the width of the rim and stuff. It's gonna, and I'm gonna try to wrap it all in one piece. I want to try to get this so it's gotta basically line up with the cooler, I think. Well, the thing is, it's gonna be up on here, and I've got pretty much it's to work on, and then I've got some backpacks. I'm gonna put silicone on 2 backpacks just because. But that's the sock that I'm going to make for the pretty much for these boots I bought from Amazon for roughly, maybe $30. Some waterproof. I really wanted waterproof boots. I mean, if I didn't have and make a video of it, and kind of hoping I don't have any other issues with it, with the paint flaking off, and then just the silicone hopefully working good. After, like a month or two of use, and you can really see how the silicone works and stuff. But yeah, so, and then after the painting or the siliconing, and I could use a little touch up here and there, but I did use a flashlight to kind of look for all the bare spots, missing spots, and there are a few and stuff. But I already washed the brush. I have this small brush, and there's a few inside of the holes. So, and mainly it's going to be really tough. I got to use like some tape or something, depending on where I'm painting, and or maybe look on the outside and stuff. I gotta do as good of a paint on the inside, because there are some spots missing, and it's really tough, with the liner. I could have just went, so this was kind of like a white foam and stuff, and could have just, glued on the liner and finished it off. But I think I'm going to clear coat what I painted and stuff, and it's going to be really tough. But I'm probably going to end up using a paintbrush and looking from the outside. But the stuff that I have right now, just, and then I've got pretty much some groceries coming in, like, and open this up and put an antenna inside that case.